There's a secret cult that tried to take over Christianity. They were led by a powerful woman named Marcelina, and they committed every sin, claimed that God was actually the devil, practiced magic, had power over demons, controlled the mind of a priest, placed a secret mark on their followers, and claimed to know how to transcend the material world. This secret group said they knew the true version of Christianity, but their activities would draw the attention of future heretic hunters. Were they lying? Or was the church trying to cover up the truth? And what was their secret for transcending the material world? Let's find out now. We know about this group mostly through the writings of heretic hunter and church father Saint Irenaeus in his book Adversus Haereses, or Against Heresies. They were a sect of a group known as the Carpocratians, which were formed in the 2nd century CE by their leader Carpocrates. According to Irenaeus, the Carpocratians practiced magic, had power over demons, claimed to have power over people, princes, and all things in the world. Saint Irenaeus writes, "They practice also magical arts and incantations, philters also, and love potions, and have recourse to familiar spirits, dream-sending demons, and other abominations, declaring that they possess the power to rule over, even now, the princes and formers of this world, and not only them, but also all things that are in it." The Carpocratians claimed to be the true Christians that understood the secret of existence, and, according to Clement of Alexandria, Carpocrates obtained a secret gospel by using his powers of deceitful arts to enslave a priest. Clement of Alexandria writes, "But since the foul demons are always devising destruction for the race of men, Carpocrates, instructed by them and using deceitful arts, so enslaved a certain presbyter of the church in Alexandria that he got from him a copy of the secret gospel, which he both interpreted according to his blasphemous and carnal doctrine, and moreover polluted, mixing with the spotless and holy words utterly shameless lies. From this mixture is drawn off the teaching of the Carpocratians." Now, among the Carpocratians, a powerful leader rose. Her name was Marcelina, and she was incredible, a total badass. I'm crushing on her hard, to be honest. It was her goal to implement the teachings of the Carpocratians and create a community of social egalitarianism where all humans are regarded as fundamentally equal. So to do this, she made the long journey all the way from Egypt across the Mediterranean Sea until she reached one of the largest cities in the then known world, Rome, where she established her own sect. She quickly began to convert and attract a multitude of her own followers who became known as the Marcellians. Saint Irenaeus writes, "From among these also arose Marcelina, who came to Rome, and holding these doctrines, she led multitudes astray." Saint Epiphanius writes, "I heard at some time of a Marcelina who corrupted many people in the time of Anicetus, Bishop of Rome. The Marcelina I have spoken of appeared at Rome, spewing forth the corruption of Carpocrates' teaching, and corrupted and destroyed many there. As she spread her message throughout Rome, Marcelina and her disciples marked their right earlobes by branding themselves with a hot iron or by using a needle or razor. This was likely done so they could recognize each other in public." Saint Epiphanius writes, "They mark the right earlobes of the persons they deceive with a burning iron or by using a razor or needle." According to Epiphanius, the Marcellians engaged in secret rituals and claimed to have hidden paintings that showed what Jesus actually looked like. Saint Irenaeus says they claimed to know the truth about Jesus and obtained secret knowledge that Jesus taught in private to his disciples that was passed down to the worthy. In fact, some of them claimed to be equal to Jesus. They taught that Jesus wasn't God, but that he was just a wise human. They looked at him as a role model and believed that a devout follower could even surpass Christ. The Marcellians admired intelligence and free thinking, and Saint Irenaeus describes how they set up their secret images of Jesus next to philosophers. They crowned these images and set them up along with the images of the philosophers of the world, that is to say, with the images of Pythagoras and Plato and Aristotle and the rest. They likely saw Jesus as being equal to these philosophers, and the Marsalians were highly intellectual and valued wisdom and thinking. In fact, the evil Carpocrates was a philosopher in Alexandria, and his enslaving of a priest through deceitful arts was most likely Carpocrates using logic and reason to convince the priest. The Marsalians taught that you didn't need to follow laws and regulations to be saved, and that sin doesn't exist. They practiced libertinism and believed that what is and isn't sinful is just made up by humans, and that people should be free to experience life, and they encouraged sexual freedom. They believed that men, women, and all humans are equal, and some of them likely shared property and practiced polyamory. Unlike what would become Christian orthodoxy, they didn't believe in resurrection, but taught reincarnation instead. They saw the material world as being an illusion and viewed the body as a prison for the soul, which is extremely similar to the philosophy of Plato. Unlike the church fathers, who saw the creator of the world as God, they believed that the creator of the world isn't God at all, but the devil who traps souls in material bodies. St. Irenaeus writes, "They described the devil also as being the chief among the makers of the world, and maintain that he delivers such souls to another angel who ministers to them, that he may shut them up in other bodies, for they declare that the body is the prison." The Marsalians taught that the way to escape the cycle of reincarnation into bodily prisons and to transcend the material world was to experience life instead of obeying ridiculous laws and commandments. They believed that if they had fulfilling lives and experiences across their incarnations, that the soul wouldn't feel the need to incarnate anymore. The soul would be liberated and would no longer be pulled back to the physical world. Now, because of this belief, St. Irenaeus made them out to be the most evil group imaginable. He said, "So unbridled is their madness that they declare they have in their power all things which are irreligious and impious, and are at liberty to practice them, for they maintain that things are evil or good simply in virtue of human opinion. They do all those things which we dare not either speak or hear of, nay, which we must not even conceive in our thoughts." Ultimately, it was the goal of the Marsalians to spread the message of equality and freedom. They wanted people to realize that they didn't have to follow ridiculous man-made laws to be saved, but they should be free to experience life. Marcelina wanted the people of Rome to understand this, join them, and build a freer world. But of course, St. Irenaeus and other church fathers smeared their name. He declared them evil and corrupt, and claimed Satan commanded the Marsalians to infiltrate Rome and pose as Christians to confuse the citizens. Irenaeus writes, "Satan had set forth these people to blaspheme the holy name of the church, so that the people turn their ears from the preaching of truth when they hear their different way of teaching and think we Christians are all like them. They misuse the name Christian as a mask." Not only did the church fathers hate their teachings, which threatened their control, but a powerful female leader like Marcelina would infuriate them. And it was common for Orthodox theologians to accuse them of demonic possession. The church father Tertullian writes, "These heretical women, how audacious they are! They have no modesty. They are bold enough to teach, to engage in argument, and it may be, even to baptize." Marcelina was a courageous leader who devoted her life to freeing the people from the clutches of oppressive religion. Unfortunately, centuries later, the Roman Empire supported what would become Christian orthodoxy and destroyed anyone that were deemed heretics. So much of the inequality we have in the world right now is because of our collective religious history. What do you think that the world would look like right now if Marcelina and Carpocrates had been successful in spreading their version of Christianity that taught freedom, equality, philosophy, and the exploration of life? Do you think the world would be a better place? Tell me in the comments now. Marcelina wasn't successful, but together we can continue her mission right now and build a freer world. My work is all about the transformation of consciousness to create that new world, so make sure you like and subscribe so that the algorithm spreads this information. If you enjoyed that video, check out my other video called "Is Jesus Actually Lucifer?" I want to give a big shout out to everyone that supports on Patreon. If you ever felt like you've learned something or gotten something from my videos, consider supporting on Patreon, and you'll also get access to our weekly secret live streams and hidden Discord server, The Citadel. The link is right over here, or you can support my work on YouTube by hitting the join button right below the video. Thank you, my friends.